Yeah, Anil.
So Ravi, as a CEO, I mean, you've seen the IT landscape, right? And there are a lot of changes which are happening. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, a lot of stuff is coming up. Now the youngsters are confused, right? Those who want to either build a startup or go into the as an employee, right? Join some company. They're confused as to how do they shape their career, what kind of courses they should adopt, or what kind of technology they should invest their time into. So if you will have to guide, say, youngsters in terms of the technology, which technology they should invest their time in, what would that be?
Very interesting question. I've been talking about this in multiple panels, and I've also made few videos on the same topic saying that
Right.
the technological advancement which has happened in the past 3 years is much more stronger than what it would have happened in the past 2 decades. If you remember, Y2K
Yeah.
is the boom for Indian IT companies.
Yes.
As a result of which, India has become one of the largest IT hub in the world.
Yes.
Cities like Bangalore coming into existence, and Hyderabad, and to some extent Noida, Pune, all these hubs were. Now the Y2K had one big advantage at that point in time is that I'm just taking a little bit of history here, talking about a little bit of history. That Indian resources were ambitious and they were prospering at the same time. The Indian resources were the lowest in terms of cost. So India could take a big advantage of that. At least for 3 decades they had a free run. Okay. And they were able to rule the IT outsourcing businesses across the globe. Top 5, 6, 7 IT companies have flourished like anything in India. They are doing extremely well in the valuation game as well. Now let's look at our universities and colleges. We generate close to about 1.6 million grads every year, and not all of them get absorbed by the top 3 companies or top 5 companies of the globe. Only 3% of them get a campus recruitment or a good companies, they get a good break, and etc. etc. Now those things are up for a change. In a sense, like I am qualified. Let's say I'm a computer engineer. I passed out from so and so institute, and I must get this. Let me warn the youngsters very, very clearly. Because you have a credential that you are from an university or a college, don't hope that you'll be recognized instantly and you'll get a job. That's not going to happen. I'll tell you why. The theoretical brain which you're going to bring to the table is already replaced by artificial intelligence. Okay. Now, why artificial intelligence? Because artificial intelligence is nothing but trained by humans. Okay. You are giving so much of content. You're loading an intelligent layer of content left, right, and center, and millions of hours and thousands of people are educating artificial intelligence to become effective. Be it ChatGPT, be it Google Bard, or the dime a dozen apps already available in the market. Now, what do? They've already replaced what you call the mundane task. The mundane task is what? Something an employee is engaged in delivering routinely, repeatedly, day in and day out without adding any value to it. But that's costing me about 47% of my operating expenses. Compliance, accounting, HR processes, these are all mundane tasks. Attendance monitoring system. Now these are getting replaced by machines, which is artificial intelligence. Now artificial intelligence alone will not assure you a success. The second stage of artificial intelligence is, just imagine a situation where a newborn baby, you are trying to teach the baby how to talk in Hindi. Right? The baby gets up, walks, goes to school, and one fine day morning returns home and suddenly start talking some gibberish, long sentences. Parents were surprised because this kid is interacting with another kid and that kid is teaching. So both of them are learning from each other's intelligence which got laid in their brain. So they reach the level of machine learning. Okay. Now retention of machine learning is 100% accurate. Human retention competency is hardly 10-20%. So you're prone to mistake. Just imagine the mundane task which is contributing 47% of my cost towards the company, 84% of my total transaction volume is moved out, what is left? 13% of the transaction volume which is core to my business. I'll focus more in that. I'll invest more in that. In order to do that, I will hire only subject matter experts. SME is the word. Education alone will not help you. Please, youngsters, remember, while you are doing education, pick up 3 or 4 projects which will support your claim that you are a subject matter expert. Complete the project, get it certified, get your credentials signed by the person with whom you worked. So create a prototype. Be it even in accounting, it could be anything else. Create a prototype, create a credential, and just ensure that you have gained the knowledge of being a subject matter expert. That's the first and foremost advance I'll give to any youngsters.
The ability to basically solve any business problem, right? I mean, they should have
acumen. Acumen to address a business problem. Solution obviously may not happen by an individual. It needs to be a collective effort by your team. If you can't even identify and address this problem of a business problem, the solution comes the next stage. So in order to do that, you got to be a subject matter expert. That's first and foremost thing. Now second is, lot of youngsters today, they do a mistake of aspiring to become a team lead. And I believe firmly designation doesn't matter. Senior managers, AGMs, GMs, vice presidents, general managers, you name them. It doesn't matter. Right? Once you become a subject matter expert, there is an ecosystem which is getting built around you in your organization. The power of you being a SME is much more powerful than you becoming a team lead. You are a magnet, you permanently attract the management's attention towards you. So therefore, the emerging market trends, which is going to fill our world, surprisingly, it starts with artificial intelligence.
So just for our techies actually, what are the kind of skills, when we're talking about machine learning and all, right? What are the kind of skill sets or curriculums or courses that comes to...
I'll come to that. When I'm talking about top 10 emerging jobs in the country, I'm not talking only about techies. But I'm saying artificial intelligence is the number one demand by 2025. This country would require 74 million artificial intelligence engineers. And unfortunately, fortunately, our country can produce only 500,000. There are no institutes. There are no universities which will help you to educate yourself in artificial intelligence. That you need to be a trained AI engineer to train AI. Get my point? Second emerging jobs in the world is going to be cyber security. I'll tell you why. In 2014, imagine what was the data speed. In 2023, what is the data speed? Today you are on 5G. Your broadband is next to at an affordable price. Right? The data availability at an affordable price is one of the prime reason humongous amount of data is getting driven. Right? Therefore, the cyber thieves. Therefore, the cyber security technicians is required. Okay. India alone loses about 28 crores per day on cyber fraud alone, which is a huge headache for fintech companies. Okay. Now, combination of AI, cyber security, what is the next which is leading? Data analyst. Name one credible industry or university in India where people claim themselves, I can produce good data scientist engineers or data scientists. By 2030, India will require close to about 1.9 million data scientists. We can imagine only 300,000. So don't be surprised, youngsters, tomorrow you'll see a white guy sitting next to you and working. Things will happen. At some point in time, India need to do the global client servicing. India need to open the doorstep. India need to allow the workforce to come and join in India and work in India. We would require that. Okay. Now many youngsters ask me, sir, why you are talking only about technology jobs? What about other people? So technology is nothing but an enabler for other jobs. Okay. Now let me come to the fourth emerging job in this country called actuarial science. You are a chartered accountant, you understand the importance of actuarial science. Lifespan is increasing for Indians. Our lifestyle improvement is tremendous. Right? We have become health conscious. We are at least questioning about health related issues at this point in time. Actuarial science is going to be the biggest mover and shaker in spite of your data science, in spite of your artificial intelligence, in spite of your machine learning, in spite of everything, you would still require a human brain to interfere something, dissect something, and tell someone that this is a decision. Oh, hi, Anil, I can give you insurance, but your cost of insurance is going to be X, Y, Z. I can't generalize that. So actual scientists are going to be high in demand. And the fifth job, which is going to be extremely high in demand, is the relevancy of dependency on factors which is computing on its own and advising you. You will tend to have a dependency of not trusting it. End of the day, machine, a human tendency tend to believe that they cannot be 100% accurate. Yes or no? So you will still require a financial planner, which is a big business. Right? By 2025, India would require about 1 million financial planners to tell you where to invest your money, how to save tax. That's an emerging profession. And sixth emerging profession, you'll be very surprised, is content writers. So you might ask, sir, what are you talking about? You're talking about chat GPTs and Bard, etc., etc. Yes, they will enable you to write a content, but you still require a content writer to validate, give us intelligence input in order to maintain consistency, in order to maintain human touch. The content writing profession is going to be one more biggest. And seventh profession, you'll be surprised to know, physiotherapist. You know, India running short on them. Physiotherapists in the globe. People started sourcing people from India. So physiotherapist is a high demand. Just because your living span is increased. You know, a lot of old people, right? They would require attention, sports. You know, physiotherapy is not only somebody coming at the door and give a physiotherapy to you, or you go and do that. And even sports is becoming a common factor. So physiotherapist demand is actually on the rise. People are not even realizing that. Accountants. Okay. End of the day, compliance is important for a country like India. Right? More and more institutes like Chartered Accountant of India, Cost Accountants of India. In fact, Actuarial Science also got an institute in Bombay. I'm sure that you must be aware of that. Accountancy is going to be a never-ending. It's never going to die. That profession is never going to die. Because these are the professions which requires a tremendous amount of human intelligence and analytics competency, which a machine cannot do. Machine can reproduce what has been given to it as an input. That's fine. I mean, if I want to do a permutation combination of calculating something and delivering an output saying that, hey, this is the sum of everything, but somebody need to tell you how the sum is arrived. And that is not a teachable, that's not a feedable input. So like that, there are about 15 emerging jobs. They're all new age jobs. So people are absolutely under misguided concept. The emerging jobs are all technology, which is not. Manufacturing is going to rule the world. There's already a shift of zero dependency on our neighbor China. Things are migrating to Bangladesh. Things are migrating to Vietnam. Things are migrating to Thailand. Things are migrating to Malaysia. Why things can't migrate to India? We might pride ourselves saying that iPhone manufacturing facility is becoming bigger in India. That's a lifestyle gadget. And I'm talking about essentials about manufacturing will also start emerging. Therefore, the engineers from civil, engineer from mechanical, engineer from other field other than IT will also have a tremendous amount of demand as we progress. I mean, there was I don't remember the report. I happened to read a report which said that by the year 2040, India will become the third biggest manufacturing hub in the world. My immediate question, how will you do it? You don't have a skill set. That's when the skill development program of India, which was like, if you get into the detailing of it, you will understand the amount of empowerment the government of India invested money in training the rural population. It's quite heartwarming. The skill set is already there. Now the skill set need not have to come in front of you, talk to you in a fancy English. They can be vernacular, they can be Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, whichever language, but they know the business. They possess the skills. So India is gearing up because our younger population is going to be one of the largest in the world. I think today we are 504 million, which is less than 25 years of age. If I'm not mistaken, if my data is right, that's more than American population. Why do I need to play on a back foot? So the message to the youngsters is that pick up a profession, pick up a skill and nurture the skill. Will you imagine that the tremendous amount of demand for photographers? Not only in wedding, photographers are in demand. You might ask me, no sir, I have a phone and I do in the phone. No, professional photographers are in demand. Well educated, well qualified engineers, management grads, all they invest into a couple of gears and they declare themselves professional photographers. And they're making money, it's a money making profession. Content writer not only for content, content writer for script writing. Like, that Avatar director who made a statement a couple of weeks before, and I don't think artificial intelligence can ever replace script writing. So, entertainment industry is booming. OTT industry is booming. So, there are a lot of emerging opportunity for youngsters. You can choose to be a model. You can choose to be an actor. You can choose to be a script writer. You can choose to be a director. You can choose to be a photographer. So, the kind of opportunity which the world is presenting today, you call them a Gen Z, the millennials, they fancy themselves with a blue collar or white collar job where they will get to earn more and more and more, but without honoring specific skills. Means if you are not becoming an SME, imagine that you will become one among the generalists and you will perish over a period of time. That's what my summary point. Remember to become a subject matter expert. Don't expect to become a generalist. The days of generalists are counted, right? And you will be perishing faster. So opportunity to grow in the market is not only in technology, it's there in every field. There's a creative field available. There's a manufacturing field available. And there is an intelligence field available. There's a medicine. Medicine is one of the fastest growing field in the world, right? So I think we are all in a very exciting times. Before I summarize, I just wanted to tell your viewers, we are very lucky. We are from the generation where a 40 MB disc we used to carry in our heads. We are from a generation where a 40 MB disc we used to carry in our pockets. 40 MB. We are from a generation we used to operate with 128 MB laptop. We transitioned from cassette players to CD to DVD to streaming. We transitioned from radio to television. I don't know many of the Gen Z will even know what is a fax machine. Okay, I operate a telex machine, a mode of communication. Many of the Gen Z will not even know what is a telegram today. Oh, I'm not talking about telegram app. I'm talking about telegram per se. If you have a grandpa or grandmother at home, please go check with them. Many of the Gen Z today may not even know how does a postman looks like. People call them snail mail. So we have seen the world. We have seen the transition. We have seen the evolvement of the world in front of our eyes. And in the past 3 years, post-COVID, remember, many enterprises across the globe, they did one wise thing. Reduction of dependency on manpower. That means they improved the process, invested heavily on automation and innovation. Therefore, the people dependency is almost next to zero. Therefore, until I am a subject matter expert, if I'm a generalist, and I have no place in this world. That's my summary point, Anil.